herbs and spices, you know, you're going to plant anything and you like to eat. If you like to eat and you're going to plant anything, herbs and spices is a good way, a good choice to start at because they do, what I have today is some thyme,
Okay.
which and dill, which are in seed form, and then I have some rosemary, which is planted, what my dad used to call this seeded potting.
You know what they use
It's
rosemary in?
everything. It's a lot of things. You can use it for tea.
You know what it's
Something with
really
dill.
good in?
What is it really good in? In dressing. You can
Dressing?
make dressing real good. Have you ever?
And your meats. Oh man.
Yeah.
Tell me
Soups
that.
and
For
stews.
real.
Tell me that.
So stand
And
on
then
track.
read the benefit of it.
Stand on track. We're going with even sage. 'Cause
I got
have planted
sage in the
sage
backyard.
in my herb garden at home. So rosemary is good for a lot of roasting, stews, and different foods
It
and
does
like
that oof
They
in
give you that
dressing.
oof.
Like sage.
Yeah, so it's all good.
That's good to know.
And that's
See, I'm learning. I'm learning.
Now they have it dry, or if you go to stores, they have it green like that in little cups.
So it comes in seasoning
so
form.
what I
When
have
you go
done,
to the store, look at that bottle to rosemary.
yeah.
It's dry. Watkins makes a good one, but most of it is really good.
So these are dill and thyme.
Now
And
thyme,
let me
thyme, Jamaicans use a lot
Now,
of
you know
thyme.
what? A
Foreigners.
guy was telling me he marinates his ribs with these.
okay, and they come out with the good taste.
Jamaicans use thyme in almost everything.
It tastes good, and not only does it taste good, it has its flavor
It's
element
good for
with
you.
the herbs, but it's also like medicine to your body. Like if you're eating it properly, a lot of times, like Rochelle was saying, what I have done in the past is I laid my herbs out and dried them, and then I crumble them up or crush, and then I cook with them that way. And then also, I have used them as fresh, you know, where I could just pick off some. Because once it's clean, it's good to eat. You can eat these fresh. Same thing with this. I'm going to show you guys some pictures of my herb garden that's, you know, kind of coming up.
But let me ask you a question. And we talked about it briefly when we came before. Once we secure the lot and get it like we want, would you be willing to come out and assist in us putting the garden together? Okay. Then.
Yes, that would be, that's an opportunity. Because here's my thing. I was just sharing with Sister Rochelle. I grew up gardening, and I shared this with you
You and
the
your
other day
dad,
when we
yeah.
consulted. I grew up gardening, and it wasn't just me, my family, my whole family just happened to be the youngest. And I never departed from that. And it's just been a part of me, like that's just in my spirit,
Okay.
gardening and all that stuff. But, like about a year or so ago, I stepped out on faith, and I started a consultation with gardening online.
Oh, wow.
And so,
That's good
because
to know.
it's always through the years been in my mind to do something like that, but I'm so easy and, you know, free because I always like pack up bags of the tomatoes and vegetables and stuff when I'm leaving out for work or whatever. And whoever get it, whoever I see, I just bless them with it. They're like, how much this cost, Lala? I'm like,
See,
no.
that's it. More people, because of the price of food, produce, more people need to be into gardening.
Yeah, but
right now.
this is what happens. People always looking for a price when I'm giving them the vegetables that we've grown. And then they've been so happy and blessed to receive them. You know, that, to me, that's more compensation than I can ever ask for. So when people call me up or reach out to me and ask me, well, how you go this? How you this? I want to start my garden. I want to do this. And I'm sharing information. Over the years, it's just been like, that's been a blessing. So it was difficult for me to say, well, I'm going to take this knowledge and, you know, turn it into a business book. I said, it's okay. It's okay because that's part of what the land is made for, created for. And he'll, you know, reward us with the labor of our hands. So with all that being said,
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready. Now, what is that? That's
so
the time.
this here is the rosemary. This is the thyme, the seeds, the
You
thyme,
already planted the jalapeno?
and the dill. So what I've done over here, Pastor Simmons, this morning, because I got here a little early, so I can do this, and it won't be a part of the time for work. I did this as a token of my appreciation for allowing us to come
Okay.
out and do our presentation with the Work of Faith Ministry. And because the season has already started for planting, and we're in like the end of June,
Okay.
July,
Okay.
the middle of July. I
But
thought
it's late this year.
You said peppers.
Uh-huh.
So I got you some banana peppers. These are sweet banana peppers over here. That I planted this morning. It's a roll of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the tag is right in the middle.
Okay.
And then there's a
You'll know when it
jalapeno
starts
pepper
coming
that's hot.
Okay.
The banana peppers are sweet.
Okay.
Because a lot of people can't stand so much heat.
Okay.
So I did more of those and less of the hot ones.
Okay.
Because I love heat. I
So
love
these
the
are
hot
them
peppers.
here? 1, 2, 3, 4? That's
No.
it? Oh, you don't see them yet?
Yes, you do. This is sweet banana peppers. It is a roll of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Gotcha.
You're gonna
So-
see a blossom come on it
Gotcha.
So
first.
the tag is in the middle.
I see.
So then I will
A
share-
blossom is gonna come.
Okay, so but you take care of these grounds, right? So now you know that these 6, the tag in the middle is for these 6 banana peppers.
Okay.
And then the tag right is only 1 jalapeno pepper.
And where's it gonna come up at?
It's here. This is
Oh, that's
it.
it there.
Yes,
Okay.
and the
Come
tag
on,
is
you
right
got-
behind.
You never seen things growing like that.
Well, he's
I'm
learning.
learning.
And we got to
Blossom is
meet
gonna
people
come
where
on
they are.
Each one,
Listen,
a little flower.
I'm a
And when
city
that
boy.
little
I'm
flower-
learning. I'm learning. Let me ask my questions. I wasn't raised on a farm. I wasn't raised with farmers. I'm learning.
That's right. So really, Rochelle,
Uh-huh.
what you're saying, Pastor Simmons, is exactly what I'm here to represent and what I want to share. I want the people to see and understand. Because just like you were not raised on a farm, but we're all here in the city, urban city together, and people don't know. Like I'm not
That's it.
gonna assume or
You
take
want
it for
this?
granted that you know what I'm talking about because this is something I grew up with. Doesn't mean everybody else has. And people don't realize that we can use these mindful movements to condition ourselves so when we are in situations that's confrontational or bring conflict and stress, we're already conditioned because we're doing things on a daily basis to meditate and soothe our spirit and soothe our souls to where if someone starts an argument with us or we're disagreeing with somebody on something, it doesn't have to turn into a fight.
Absolutely.
So the whole point of this presentation is for the movement of safe and peaceful communities. You're going to hear about a lot of different events going on across the city. Pastor Simmons, tell us what your line of work is, if you don't mind. Because we're here, this is not by coincidence, this is all by divine order.
Okay.
And it's all connected because with prevention and being proactive, we can, as a people, we can eliminate a lot of the violence and the unsafety that's happening on our streets and on our land.
Absolutely.
So, but that's
Okay, thank
Go
you.
ahead,
Thank
Pastor
you for this
Simmons.
opportunity. So what I do, I'm a crisis responder for the city of Chicago. So anytime the name of our organization is called Chicago Survivors. And so anytime there's a homicide here in the city of Chicago, all 25 police districts, there are 4 of us that blanket the entire city. Myself, Andrew Holmes, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of, and that we have 2 others on our team. I was on nights for 6 years. I'm on days now,
Okay.
and my number of homicides have decreased significantly. But you would think they'd be lower being the daytime, but it's not. My
Right.
shift is 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. And so I work a 12-hour shift, and I get a call from what's called CPIC, Crime Prevention Information Center. They're the same ones that dispatch CPD. So I'm sent to the crime scene, wherever that may be. It may be the hospital, it may be the morgue, or the actual crime scene where the incident occurred. And my first responsibility is to locate the family and remove them from what we call a heightened emotional arousal. Remove them, de-escalate, because perpetrators may still be on the scene.
Right.
I defer to the white shirt or the detective on the scene, and then the process begins. My window with the family is 48 hours, and then I do what's called a warm transfer of care to my family support specialist, and they're the administrative piece in the organization.
Okay.
They identify what resources the family may need. They may need to be relocated. They may need to be under protective custody, counseling, assistance with the funeral, identifying resources to assist with funeral and burial. We work in partnership with a state-funded program out of the Attorney General's office called Crime Prevention.
Take your time, Pastor.
These words are running. Victims compensation reimbursement.
Okay.
And so it was out of the Attorney General's office. Well, they will reimburse families. It was $7,500. At the beginning of the year, it went up to $10,000. So they will reimburse families up to $10,000 toward the cost of funeral and burial. And so typically how that works, the family pays for their loved one's funeral. They submit an application to that office along with the certified death certificate and all of their invoices and receipts associated with that cost. We submit it as a claim.
Right.
The state processes it.
Okay.
And so the hiccup or red flag is if the victim was contributory to their own demise, if it was a drug deal gone bad, if it was an altercation, if it was retaliation, gang association, any of that, then the state will block it. They won't reimburse that.
Because these resources are for victims,
Actual
people
victims.
who have been
Innocent victims
innocent,
played
and
no
not
part in their
demise
tragedy.
and they okay.
And so that's kind of what we do. We stay with those families 6 months to a year. Every year on the day of the incident, if the homicide has not been solved, we do a closed case meeting, and we meet with those families and those detectives, either the original detectives or the ones that the case has been reassigned to, and then we work with the families to see if there was some evidence missed, stones unturned, and so we comfort those families. We assist them with court.
Okay. Now, can I ask you this, Pastor Simmons? Is there anything that you all are doing in regards to prevention, or do you see a way that we can collaborate?
Well, not with that organization. They strictly respond to homicide.
Right.
As a ministry, I've been involved with prevention I've done workshops in just about every school across the city of Chicago, from conflict resolution, critical thinking skills, being proactive.
Yes.
College tours and engaging our young people, business, boot camp workshops, and
So
and
how
on and on and on.
effective have you seen those workshops and those, actions that you're taking? How effective has that been in
Great question.
actual prevention?
Well, unfortunately, we don't hear about the success stories and the
And that's
number of
what
young
I
people,
want to get
the
to.
number of young people that have gone on to college, that we've literally taken on college tours and
Yes.
exposed them to a better life. We also do workshops for the families, those single mothers in particular who have what's called separation anxiety, and they won't allow their kids to even leave home. They want them to go to Kennedy King or Robert Moore, as opposed to getting exposed
Exploring
to, and independence and all
world
that
and
that comes along with that.
independence, yes.
So we've been very successful. Unfortunately, the negativity has outweighed because that's what pays. The media will flock to those stories. But every year for the past 25 years, I've done what's called a 3-on-3 basketball tournament where we have hundreds of young people out here, no incidents. No incidents.
And I've experienced that as well. Can I ask you, what do you think as a ministry and collaborating with other ministries we can do to make sure our communities stay safe and peaceful for people who are innocent and just want to come out and live life and enjoy life? What can we do to bring that positive attention to our communities and to our people?
I think one of the reasons, or one of the methods we can take is to be a presence. We have to be seen. They have to know we're here, that we are stakeholders, and we have a vested interest in not just our own, but the community at large.
Right.
And I think our presence. See, they know Pastor Simmons, but they need to see other brothers.
Oh yes.
I've been in this community. I've been here
as
30
long as
years.
I have.
30 plus years. So they know me, but they need to see other brothers and know I'm not by myself.
That's right.
And so I think when they see us consistent and they see a presence and see that we are vested in making this community live out its full potential, because it has great potential.
Oh, absolutely.
That's how come the other folk want us out of here, because they realize the potential. We don't, but they do.
They know Midway
But I think if we remain, I think this is a great start.
Yes.
I think this is a great start.
Thank you.
And I don't want to underplay it. This is a big deal.
Thank you.
And so I want to
recognize
build
me.
on this I don't want this to be the last time.
Absolutely not.
Because we're going to put that garden together. I'm going to befriend those neighbors and let them know
Absolutely.
this is what we're trying to do, and we would appreciate
This
it.
is what we're doing.
And then
So
I'm
they
gonna
can move
engage them. Hey, y'all look out for it when we ain't here. You know how it goes.
Absolutely, but here's the thing. But when you say engage them and befriend, that's the key right there, because life on this earth with others is about relationships, you know. And a lot of times we do get caught up in the tangible things, and we forget about, you know, what we're really here for. And you, as a pastor, you understand that better, you know, than, you know, the average person, because we're not here just to be fancy and do fancy things and buy fancy stuff and be fancy for the people. We're here to love the people and share the fruit of the Spirit
Serve
amongst
the people through humanity. The late Reverend Porter used to say to me, son, if you're too busy to help people, you're a little busier than the Lord wants you to be. And I never forgot that. That stuck with me.
Right.
And so I think it's about empowering them so that it becomes their garden, their project. So even when we're not here, they say, hey,
Right.
get out our garden.
And so
Don't throw them rocks. Don't throw them
and
bottles.
then the ones that's throwing them, we incorporate them and integrate them into the process as well, because it's not about us being exclusive, but being all inclusive of all people, because God loves everybody. And a lot of times what happens, we forget, and that's the point with the mental illness issues. We have to get to the root of these situations and start dealing with them and stop putting band-aids on them and helping people, because they think a lot of times people may be experiencing mental health illnesses and they think it's just a misbehavior. A lot of times parents, you know, construe a child being misbehaved as them just being rebellious, and they don't realize that that child may be experiencing some medical issues, which could be mental illness. And that's the same as any other type of illness, because there's no taboo to not talk about it, or, you know, to let that stigma keep us from reaching out for the help that's needed. The same way if we broke our hand, broke our wrist, our ankle, we're going to the hospital, emergency room, so that that can be taken care of. If we are diagnosed with some type of chronic illness, we take medication to maintain and get a balance in our chemicals, you know, our bodily chemicals to maintain those chronic illnesses. Same thing we should be doing for mental illness, and working with that for what it is and not pushing it on tape.
This is a great start.
Thank you.
And I would love for us to build on it and promote it.
Absolutely.
And expose people to what we're doing.
Yes.
Because it will grow.
Oh yeah.
I have no doubt about it.
But God bring us to, He bring us through.
Once we promote it the right way and educate people on the process, it's just a matter of time. We'll be putting community gardens all across the city.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple of questions, and I'm gonna have to run. What is the time from the time you plant and giving the right nutrition and nourishment that the peppers begin to grow, and when do they reach their maturation stage?
All right, so here's the thing. I know the answer to that question, but I know Miss Rochelle over here. I know Miss Rochelle, you know, she want to answer.
Okay.
So go ahead and answer that question for us, Miss Rochelle.
Really, these plants will mature up until the fall of the year. But what's going to happen, like I was telling you before, now I don't know every color that comes out, because I just learned that when you do a purple hull pea, the blossom is a purple blossom. Before
it depends on the it depends
pea.
on what they're grown in and what they're grown with. That's what kind of determines the color of what it's going to produce.
A purple hull pea is actually spotted in the hull. Some people call them black-eyed peas. If I'm not
Now give me back to the peppers.
Okay, what's going to happen is you're going to see little blossoms on here.
There's a little bit there.
My question is
That
when?
comes on here in a day or two.
Oh, really?
Just
I
water
can
it right
see
and
this
take care
coming
of
out
it.
already.
Yeah, there's some on there
Right here.
now.
Oh no, that's a leaf.
No,
But
here.
you're going to see.
Look here. Look.
You're
see
gonna
this,
see-
This is producing already.
Yeah, right there.
And then
that
there's-
blossom probably was right there. You got to see a little blossom on there, and that blossom becomes the actually pepper, and it starts growing out. You see it from a little bitty tiny something, but they're going to get a jalapeno pepper. They come different sizes, but you're going to know when it's full. I'm going to let you know.
So
But what we're gonna have to do is when I'm not here, if it's super dry out here,
I can
you're
water.
just gonna come and water them.
So how much water does
Just
it
a
need?
little bit, maybe a cup on each plant.
So can I water them now?
No, we're gonna do it. She's done it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you.
I want to
Do you know
participate.
what this is?
I have no idea.
Garlic.
Garlic. This garlic evolved from my mother's yard.
Did you not hear me say I'm a city boy? I don't know nothing about no garden. I shot dice